Are you one who is happy about or resistant to predicting or suggesting MVPs at this time of the year? Do you prefer to wait till the end of the season? Do you have your eyes on an MVP?
Well, here's the good news, y'all. I'm a lineman, so if whatever I say, people will be like, "He's a lineman. He doesn't know shit anyway." So it's great. I'm good with it. Here's what I would say right now for me. I am. I think everybody's got their theory behind MVPs and what they think. And Richard Sherman, who I work with in Thursday Night Football, obviously my brother. We're really close. He is a huge statistical guy. He hates when it's not the guy who statistically is just dominating the league. Like for him, it's Joe Burrow without question. Forget your records or whatever. Like if it wasn't for his team and how bad they're playing, he's without question the MVP. So he would probably say you give it to Saquon because he's the next guy in that category. And then there's obviously the guys who are for Josh Allen and really the impact he's had. I mean, Jared Goff, if it wasn't for one game, without question would be probably at the top of that MVP conversation because of the year he's had and how awesome he's played the position. For me, it's Saquon Barkley because I look at it by team. If I took this guy off, where would they be or what would they do? And then statistically, has he really been the guy who is the impact for them? I mean, you look at it, they just won a game in a really close game against the Carolina Panthers where the quarterback threw for 100 yards. And how do they do that? Because they just say, you know what, even if the passing game's not working, hand it off to Saquon Barkley and trust this offensive line. And I think that Saquon has answered the bell. He's in a great situation with a line that is one of the best in football, but he has been the MVP for them because since they went to let's give the football to Saquon at whatever amount of times it takes to win football games after their bye week, they have been on a streak where nobody's been able to beat them, and they've dominated the league since then. So to me, you are the most valuable piece of why they are successful.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. The temptation is always to give it to the quarterback, but every game he's so dominating. His runs are so he's dominating is the only word I can think for him.
And Andrew, you just pointed to the offensive line in Philadelphia. And so to state the obvious, he's not rushing like this if he's still with the Giants because of the difference in offensive line. But the reason I note that is I will tell you from a front office perspective, if you are with the Giants and you lose a player like Saquon, but you lose him to a divisional rival, it's like every time you watch him play, you want to take a pencil and stab yourself in the eye.
Oh, yeah, that's not a happy place to be. You watch him play and you go, how does this guy leave our building? That one's crazy. I don't know if I'll ever understand that decision for a lot of reasons, but that's the first thing I said when I watched him play in person. I was like, how do you ever let this guy leave your building?
And leave him for a divisional rival? That's like
well,
double
and
Scrabble
the human
points.
being. Yeah. The player's amazing, but the human being is special. He's a rare dude. I mean, I remember earlier in the year when he had a chance to break the record in the one game against the Giants, and he's like, no, man, let all the other guys get theirs, man. I think this, when you look at the human being, the person, the player, how talented he is, I don't get it. Like for me as a GM or in those positions, like we can talk money all we want, but talk to me about human beings that make people around them better. They create a culture where it's about winning games, being at our best when our best is required. Like those things have to go into the conversation. It's not just about dollars and cents. And the most asinine comment I ever heard was the comment he said about you don't pay, Daniel Jones, what you pay him to hand the ball off to a $12 million quarterback. Well, you're paying Daniel Jones $40 million. So if you included what Saquon Barkley's making, you still wouldn't add up to what the top quarterbacks are making a year in $55 million. So that doesn't even make any sense because actually, if you're paying your quarterback $40 million, you would pay another $15 million for the running back who makes the difference in him being a better football player, because that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. So I just think when you talk about the human being, what the cost was, and the player, I don't understand how he leaves your building.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.